Thank you for joining IMG's Investor Webcast that covers first quarter 2023. As your sponsor, asset manager, and co-investor, we appreciate these webcasts as opportunities to provide you an overview of performance, trends in market, and unique challenges and opportunities for each property. My name is Dave Mickelson, Director of Investor Relations, and I'm pleased to introduce IMG's Managing Director of Asset Management, Michelle Rivnak, who will present the webcast discussion today. You're welcome to contact me for any follow-up items by emailing investor.relations@imgre.com. With that introduction, I hand the discussion to Michelle for her high-level reporting.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you all for joining us today. For Veridian, I will start with our property reserves. You can see here that we have our accounts broken out into two separate categories. We have owner-controlled funds and lender-held funds. Starting from the top, we have an operating account. The balance there is $262,000. We also have a capital reserve account, and the balance is $763,000. These combine for a total owner-held reserve balance of $1,025,000. Moving into the lender-held funds, we have a replacement reserve. This is the monthly impound account. The balance there is $109,000. Our CapEx reserve has a balance of $414,000. And then we have a combined real estate tax, insurance, and rate cap escrow account. The balance there is $635,000. That puts us at a total lender-held reserve amount of $1,157,000. Adding that to our total owner-held reserves, that puts us at an all-in reserve balance of $2,182,000. I'd like to show you this information, but broken up just a little differently. These are the same numbers in the same accounts, but I want to talk through the difference between being owner-held, yet non-distributable or earmarked for something else. So we have our operating account and our cash reserve account, and that balance combined is $629,000. We're able to use those funds for distributions, for repairs, for anything that we need. However, when you look at the lender impound accounts, we have seen shortfalls. And what we want to do is make sure that when these bills are due, that we have funds available to pay them. So the real estate tax impound that the lender has is a balance of $144,000. From our calculations, that looks about $41,000 shy. So on a monthly basis, we supplement and do an internal impound to hold that money to the side. The same is the case for insurance, where we see currently the lender is about $20,000 light. And then there's the rate cap. These increases have been very extreme. The lender currently has $443,000, and we have an additional $335,000 anticipating this increase that we knew was coming. And it's here now. And to talk more about that and our cash management strategy, I'll go ahead and hand it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Michelle, for the snapshot of property reserves. The figures you mentioned about the rate cap reserve lead into a good discussion of cash management, where we balance the lender reserve requirements with our own reserve goals and owner distributions. The graphic on this slide illustrates the relationship between the lender rate cap impounds and the cash distributions to owners over time. The Veridian loan is a variable rate loan where we must have rate cap policies in place to limit our interest rate exposure. Our current policy for Veridian expires February 2024, or about 9 months from now. And if we hold the property beyond that point, which would be the 3-year anniversary, then we would need to purchase an extension to the rate cap. As of March, the pricing on a 1-year cap was about $811,000. Our combined owner-held and lender-held reserves through April are now above that amount. So going forward, as we reserve every month, our balance will continue to grow, even though we don't necessarily need it. So we're not at any risk to have insufficient funds for the cap. The lender periodically reviews the rate cap reserve it holds, and it makes adjustments to what it requires the borrower to put in toward the reserve with the monthly mortgage payments. When the Veridian lender changed the monthly rate cap reserve requirement to $112,000 a month in March, up from a level of $50,000 a month, it was targeting a reserve based on the price of a 2-year cap. The lender wants to have a large cushion for the purchase of the rate cap so that there's no chance that the funds will be short when that time comes. But since we have no intention of purchasing a 2-year cap, we expected to have surplus funds of several $100,000 at the current rate of impound. So we made a formal request to the lender to have that reserve reduced and reflect the pricing for a 1-year cap. That request, we just received back a reply from the lender, and it was unfortunately declined. As we're setting aside the high reserve amounts now and paying higher debt service, we're limited to the funds that are available for owner distributions. I think the graphic shows that. To manage funds going forward, we've decided to suspend the owner distributions after the May 1st payment. It's a disappointing move, but it's a necessary step for cash management over the next several months. Our goal is to refinance the property this fall, if possible, when we can show our strongest months of income after the summer leasing season. Also, we hope interest rates will cooperate and allow for a refinance amount that cashes out the current loan. I'll send out a separate announcement shortly about the suspended distributions so that all owners see that. I hope the ongoing rate cap discussions are helpful. This subject has become a big theme for how we've managed cash in the last several months, also for how we're budgeting for the future and managing cash with owner distributions. I appreciate the chance to dig into the details. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, let me pass the presentation back to Michelle, and she can talk more about property performance.
We've been focused on increasing rents and NOI, and our main drivers there are gross potential rent, vacancy, concessions, and bad debt write-off. Veridian has been struggling with occupancy in Q4 2022 and also current quarter Q1. I've had extensive conversations with the management company, and they have since brought in additional leasing superstars from other properties, even in some cases other cities, to bring them in and work in the leasing office on a daily basis until we can get caught up where we need to be. Our occupancy has ranged at about 87 to 89%, and we really need it to be 95%. So everyone's focused. We've got a lot of marketing and advertising going on out there. We've got VPs focused on it. I have everyone focused on it. So we should really see some good results through Q2. When it comes to the site team, we removed the manager that had been there, and we replaced her with a manager that we've worked with in the past who is a superstar. So she's only been there for 2 months, but we've seen the work that she's able to do and feel that the property is in capable hands, and we're excited about what she's going to be able to get done as we get into Q2. Looking at leasing, we've had lease trade outs that were positive. So as we are leasing new units, our new residents coming in are paying an increase of about $44, and our lease renewals are at an average about $145. The other concern that we have at Veridian is our bad debt. It's being worked on diligently by our site team and by our legal representative, but lockouts have been delayed in Fulton County, and the sheriffs are approximately 5 months behind, which is even if you get the eviction and you get the writ and you were supposed to have possession, we have to wait for the sheriff to physically do the lockout. And the lockouts are what is running behind. Additionally, closing March, we still have 14 pending eviction cases and a combined $72,000 in AR. So as we sort through that, we expect to see that happen and move through Q2. So we'll see some write-offs and some bad debt still hit. But as we're working on releasing them, especially in the summer season, we should be able to backfill for those move-outs. Looking at some other priorities and focuses, we have just a few things in mind. It's occupancy and increasing rents and collections and moving bad debt payments out. So our operations are focused. This new manager, I've got a lot of faith, so that's in the right direction. We finished, for the exteriors, we just finished a very big paint and color change. You can see the before and after pictures here. Veridian was very green, and now a very modern gray. We whitewashed the brick. There's a lot of blue pops as you walk through the property as well, and the balcony insets and the doors. And the last step is an intense landscape upgrades. So we just executed a $100,000 contract. The plant materials have been ordered to be very colorful, very beautiful, and also help with any erosion issues. And that will be implemented within Q2. So lots of exciting things on the horizon for Veridian. And that will wrap up my operational update. And with that, I will send it back over to Dave.
This concludes the Q1 2023 Investor Webcast. We appreciate our relationship with you and the time today to share insight into the performance of the investment. We'll look forward to presenting again in 3 months with results through the second quarter. Thanks again for taking the time to join. Have a great day.